By the way, there's only one ape. Night of the Blood Apes was released in Mexico in 1969 under the title Gomar the Human Gorilla, then dubbed and released in America in 1962. This is a cult classic pile of dog turds. Now, it's proudly one of the video nasties that was banned in the UK for some time and isn't well regarded in other places around the world. Now, this film has its upsides. It is a remake by the same director as the original, Rene Cardona.
Look at that. And now take a look at this.
Who originally made The Wrestling Woman vs. the Killer Doctor, or known in the States as Doctor of Doom. Well, not that Doctor Doom. The original film would be the first in a series of Mexican horror films known to link the connection of luchadors and 70s horror. The director also made a special version of the film we are covering today, I think, and released it as horror and let's call it SFX for YouTube guidelines. You know, because he ended up adding more gore and SFX. Now, whether that made it into the American cut, I quite don't know, but I think so. But who knows? But basically, the film follows a random-ass cast of characters who I've renamed the Red Panther, a female luchador who, has little use to the plot other than she accidentally puts her opponent into a coma, which is useful later. Side note, the first 20 minutes of the film really want you to think she's the lead role, but she's really not. And we get a little bit of TNA, well, all A, no T. And then we have her boyfriend, Detective Douchebag, or at least here, Lieutenant Douchebag, the lead role, Dr. Great Value Vincent Price, and his sidekick, Stank-Leg Stalin, and finally, Doc's son, Julio, because the dubbers of the film don't understand Spanish pronunciations. And yeah, his name was worth keeping the same from this point forward. I'll still be calling him Monkey Man.
I don't think there's any time for your jokes.
The film follows Dr. Price and Stank-Leg Stalin stealing what is shown as a orangutan and then turns into a low-budget King Kong ripoff, but referred to as a gorilla. They take the monkey for his heart so they could put it in the Doc's son because that'll cure him of his leukemia. Even though that's not how leukemia works, this makes him turn into a half-man, half-monkey, monkey man, if you will. Because science. We get stock footage of an open heart surgery where you can see multiple sets of hands, even though Stank-Leg Stalin is holding the gas mask to the patient, so whose hands are these? The stock footage, by the way, is the reason the film becomes a video nasty because that's proof of extreme or explicit violence somehow, but not for the graping. Oh yeah, he goes on a rampage after he wakes up half man, half ape, and grapes and kills people. The slimy duo capture the monkey man before, he escapes a second time and he wakes up, over and over and over again. And then we get to the point where Stank-Leg Stalin meets his end and Julia rips off his... The soundtrack loops a bit here because they only afford about a minute of sounds, but he does get some kills. I'll argue he's got a couple of numbers under his belt, but for the most part, the kills are super average, low budget, and not very inventive. The only semi-standout kills here are the one that's a decapitation, and the one guy gets his eye popped out like the scoop of ice cream.
Oh! A dead man! A dead man! A dead man!
Lieutenant Douchebag and the Red Panther girlfriend finally re-enter this film for some more ass shots. And so the monkey man can chase her in a moody park we keep going back to for some reason. He attacks her a little bit too much because the fake grass reveals the floor of the set, but she gets away. We can finally move on to the climax of the film. My turn of events a little bit out of order here, but basically the girl who was put in the coma at the beginning of the film is stolen via the Doc and his henchmen, who cut her heart out and uses it to replace the monkey heart, which still doesn't fix him right away. The Doc Price convinces his fellow doctors her disappearance is something they should keep on her wraps for now.
Well, then that'll be all for now. Good day, doctors.
Stalin's decapitated and the doctor and his son end up in the hospital. The monkey man wakes back up and kidnaps a kid that he finds in the hallway. Doc goes and he saves the kid, and the cops take this opportunity to light Julio up. Julio dies, of course, and we kind of get the end of the movie. Is it over yet? Is it a good movie? Not really. Is it worth watching? It really depends. The lab set is pretty cool, some kills are fun, and the poor dubbing makes for a good laugh.
But the others aren't. Maybe they belong to some animal that I'm unable to identify.
The lead doctor is portrayed very well by Jose Elias Moreno and is a strong part of the film. The director, Rene Cardona, also made Santa Claus in 1959, which remarketed a home video era as Santa Claus vs. the Devil and as an infamous MST3K showing. Also, it is obvious the man under the ape mask is different from who plays Julio or whatever you want to call him, because he gains 30 plus pounds of muscle when he transforms, funny enough. But to wrap it all up, it's one of those trashy foreign films with a sleaze factor, TNA, amateur gore, poor special effects, Wolfman fadeaway, crip walking, hunchback stand-ins, random wrestling, and stock footage surgery all in one. First of all, how the hell does all those list of things make it in one sense in one kind of a movie? Well, you should have to watch it to find out.
Suddenly an idea occurs to me before it becomes too late.
Thanks for making that end of the video. Every day here on Connor's Comics, we're dropping a new review all throughout October, a different horror movie every single day. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for more of that. There should be a couple of comic book videos, aiming for one a week or one every other week. This way there's still comic content coming up on the channel, but there's still every day is going to be horror reviews coming out. And then of course you got the Facebook and the Instagram you can tap into. It's all linked down in the description. Make sure again you subscribe, click the little bell so you get notifications, and let me know what you thought of the movie, what you think, if there's something you like, and I've got past videos from past years. This is the 5th year uploaded, the 2nd year on YouTube, so make sure you go down in the description, check all that, and until next time, peace.